Good afternoon. This is the midday news on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Ashwarya with you. Top developing stories at the top of this hour coming up ahead. First up, a look at the top headlines. US President Donald Trump to attend a Howdy Modi event in Houston, Texas on 22nd of September. Prime Minister Modi says US President's gesture signifies special friendship between India and the US. Jammu and Kashmir Governor Satyapal Malik meets Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Supreme Court allows Congress leader Ghulam Nabi Azad to visit Jammu and Kashmir to meet people. Directs him not to indulge in any political rally. Death toll in Andhra boat mishap rises to 12. Search operations underway to trace 21 missing persons. President, Vice President and Prime Minister express grief. Assistance of 10 lakh rupees announced for the victims' families. Heavy rains trigger flood-like situation in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. Thousands evacuated to safer places. Educational institutions closed in several districts of both the states. Cabinet Secretary Rajiv Gauba directs immediate assistance for the affected areas. Oil prices soared by 10% after attacks on two Saudi oil facilities disrupt output in early Asian trade. Brent climbs 11.77% to $67.31 per barrel. US blames Iran for the attack. Tehran denies involvement. The biggest story that we're tracking this hour, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has welcomed US President Donald Trump's decision to attend the mega event in Houston, Howdy Modi, on 22nd of September. In a tweet, Prime Minister Modi said that a special gesture by US President signifies the special friendship between India and the US. He said he was looking forward to joining the Indian origin community in welcoming him at the program. Earlier, White House confirmed on Sunday that US President Donald Trump will attend the mega rally. The event will be the first time that the leaders of the two largest democracies would be addressing a joint rally anywhere in the world. In a statement, White House Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham said that the joint rally will be a great opportunity to reaffirm the strategic partnership between the world's oldest and largest democracies. Over 50,000 Indian Americans from across the US have registered for the Howdy Modi Shared Dreams, Bright Futures event to be held at the sprawling NRG Stadium in Houston. It will also be for the first time that an American president would be addressing thousands of Indian Americans at one place in the United States. The Indian ambassador to the US, Harshvardhan Shringla, termed the event as historic and unprecedented. Remember, howdy is a short for how do you do, a friendly greeting commonly used in southwestern United States. All right, let's go across to our colleague Akhilesh Suman, who is joining us live from the newsroom. Akhilesh, so the message will undoubtedly be one of strengthening the strategic partnership as well as supporting Prime Minister Modi personally. And for President Donald Trump, there is another added advantage. He gets the captive audience of Indian Americans.
You are right, Aswarya, because it is understanding inside America that how important Indian community is. You know that the number is around 5 million Indo-Americans are there inside the country and they are doing fantastically well. They are very skilled and they are faithful and they are law-abiding citizens inside America. Not only America, but all over the world, wherever Indians are going, and then input is coming to Donald Trump. And if you remember that Prime Minister Narendra Modi had earlier invited US President Donald Trump for Republic Day parade, and he was preoccupied and he could not come. So now I think this is a fulfillment of that invitation that US President Donald Trump is going to address a rally of Indo-Americans, and naturally it will not be only Indo-Americans, but Americans will also be there because many of the Indians are already American citizens, and also there will be bipartisan members like there will be mayors, there will be congressmen, and almost representative of 48 states of America will be present there. Other than that, there are 650 community participation is also there being in that rally. So I think this is one of the events that America might have ever, and nobody confirms that whether any such event had taken place in such a big number that Mr. Donald Trump is going to address a rally, because in America their format is small formats where presidents go and address, but now I think this is the biggest format in which President Donald Trump will be going, and this is the first event when he will be addressing a rally along with the head of government of any other country. So this shows that how India and America believe on each other at a time when there are skirmishes between America and other countries about trade, and also terrorism is getting a center stage, that all countries are coming together in fight against terrorism, and India was always a vanguard. So I think Americans have now realized the importance of India, and that is why President Donald Trump is coming with Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address a rally, and the whole subject. The whole subject is very important. The subject that says, that shared dreams, bright future. So I think this is very good understanding between two biggest democracy. America is the second largest democracy after India, and the oldest democracy also. So I can say that the two biggest democracy coming together, people are coming together, leaders are coming together, and there is quite a good understanding among the administration of also both the countries. So this is going to be, I think, an event where everywhere in the world people are watching it. And not only people are watching it, they are trying to understand this new phenomena that India, America are coming together. So it is a challenge to monopolistic attitude in the world. It is also a challenge to those who are involved in terrorist activity, and this is also a challenge who does not adopt democracy as a system of rule in their own country, inside their own country. So I think this is going to be very, very important, and for India it is very important, for America also very, very important, Iswaria.
Absolutely. So that is what it is, a win-win situation for both the leaders, because obviously Prime Minister Narendra Modi gets the support of US President Donald Trump personally. And, Trump also gets the audience of Indian Americans, because this is a very, very important community for him. And that contributes significantly to his political campaign as well.
Right. That it is a fourth year of President Donald Trump, and he is going to fight the election. So in that way, he is also trying to project that which community of the world is most reliable community. Because, America is a country which has people of almost all nationalities that are present on this earth. And Indo-Americans are, have come up because of their labor, because of their peaceful nature, and because of their discipline. So I think it is a message to all over the world, to all communities, that how you should behave inside a country where you go for your bread and butter, you go for getting better skills, and you go for modern research. So I think Indian behavior shows that, this can be a behavior that can be adaptable to everyone. And naturally, in election, Indians have been showing their affinity to President Donald Trump in last election also. And I think by this event and by this understanding between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Donald Trump, I think it will be also beneficial to President Trump. There is no doubt about it. But other than that, even Democrats are participating in that event. So this also shows that there is a unanimity in American system that Indians are very important. And Indians are very important because of the qualities we do have, we have displayed in the country. And I will inform you that from our country also, the delegation of many parties are going before Prime Minister Narendra Modi is reaching there. From Congress also, representatives are going there to participate in UNG and all those, even in Howdy Modi event. So I think this is a message to America, this is also a message to India, and this is also a message to the world. The two biggest democracies are coming together. That's the message as well.
Absolutely, and that is why it is being called historic and unprecedented as well by the experts. Thank you so much, Kiresh, for all those updates there on that big story. On to some other news now. Jammu and Kashmir Governor Satyapal Malik met with Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi today. While the details of the meeting are not yet known, the two leaders are believed to have discussed important issues in the meeting. In more news related to Jammu and Kashmir, the Supreme Court has allowed senior Congress leader Ghulam Nabi Azad to visit Jammu and Kashmir. However, the top court directed him not to indulge in any political rally. A bench headed by Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi said that former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister can go and visit 4 districts, Srinagar, Jammu, Baramulla and Anantnag, to meet people. Remember, in his plea, Azad had also sought a nod from the Supreme Court to visit his family members and relatives and inquire about their welfare. And his lawyer, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, said that Azad had tried to visit the state thrice but was turned back from the airport. And in a tragic incident, a private boat capsized in swollen Godavari River in Andhra Pradesh on Sunday. 12 people have been killed and 21 others are missing in the mishap. The mishap took place near the Kachuluru village in Devi Patnam Mandal of East Godavari district. The boat was on its way to Papi Kondalu, which is a tourist spot, when it met with the accident, apparently on colliding with a large rock formation. 61 people, including 11 of the boat staff, were on board the boat. Extensive search operations are being carried out by the Indian Navy, NDRF, SDRF and the state authorities for the missing people. Meanwhile, Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy undertook an aerial survey of the accident spot. He also announced an ex gratia of 10 lakh rupees each to the kin of the deceased. Most of the tourists were from Hyderabad and Warangal in neighbouring Telangana. And Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao has also announced an ex gratia of 5 lakh rupees each to the bereaved families from the state. President Ram Nath Kovind has also expressed grief at the tragic incident. In a tweet, he said that his thoughts and prayers are with the bereaved families. And Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has also expressed his condolences to the bereaved families, and he extended his prayers to those injured in the mishap. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi also said that he was extremely pained by the accident. The National Crisis Management Committee, or the NCMC, headed by Cabinet Secretary Rajiv Gauba, on Sunday reviewed the prevailing flood-like situation in the two states of Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. The NCMC directed immediate assistance to be provided to the people to meet the crisis. The NCMC has been informed that action to evacuate and rescue people and livestock has been taken by these two states and no loss of life have been reported. Adequate teams of the National Disaster Response Force and the Army have also been deployed in the rescue work. The Met Department has conveyed that while there has been very heavy rainfall in these two states over the past few days, the intensity is now likely to decline from today. Large areas in several districts of Rajasthan were flooded after water was released from the dams, forcing the evacuation of thousands of stranded people, including school children. Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot conducted an aerial survey of the flood-hit areas in Kota, Jhalawar and Dholpur districts of Rajasthan today morning. Nearly 5,000 people have been shifted from low-lying areas to the safer places since Saturday by the teams of the Army, NDRF and SDRF. Meanwhile, in the state of Madhya Pradesh, most districts of the state are experiencing incessant rains. As many as 45,000 people of flood-affected areas have been evacuated to safer places. SDRF, Jawans of the Home Guard, NDRF and 15,000 Jawans of the State Police Force have been deployed for the relief and rescue work, and a financial assistance of 100 crore rupees has also been given to the flood-affected districts, and 325 crore rupees has been spent on relief and rescue work. And on the request of the state government, the centre will also soon send an inter-ministerial team to study the loss caused by the rains. Pakistani army continues to violate ceasefire along the line of control in Jammu and Kashmir. The Pakistani troops are resorted to unprovoked mortar shelling along forward posts and villages along the line of control in Poonch district on Sunday night. A few army personnel, part of an ambush party, were injured when 2 mortar shells exploded near them during the shelling in Balakot area of Meendhar sector. An Indian army retaliated befittingly to the Pakistani firing. The injured were immediately evacuated to the military hospitals, and their condition is stated to be stable. Pakistan has violated ceasefire more than 2,050 times this year without provocation. The Ministry of External Affairs said on Sunday that 21 Indians have been killed in these ceasefire violations by the Pakistani army. Spokesperson in the Ministry of External Affairs, Ravish Kumar, said that India has highlighted its concerns at the unprovoked ceasefire violations by Pakistan forces and the targeting of Indian civilians and border posts. He said that India has repeatedly conveyed to Pakistan to ask its forces to adhere to the 2003 ceasefire understanding. He added that the Indian forces exercise the maximum restraint and they respond to unprovoked violations and attempts at cross-border terrorist infiltration. And on Saturday also, Pakistani troops engaged in heavy firing and mortar shelling on forward posts and villages along the line of control in Poonch district of Jammu and Kashmir. And British MP Bob Blackman has said that Jammu and Kashmir is a sovereign part of India and Pakistan should vacate the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir first. Addressing the Balidan Divas event organised by UK-based Kashmiri pundits in London, he asserted that India has a sovereign right over the entire region. Conservative Party MP from North London, Blackman strongly supported the revocation of Article 370 by the NDA government as well. He said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has again shown strong leadership in honouring the manifesto of the BJP to properly integrate Jammu and Kashmir into the Indian constitution. Indian High Commissioner to the UK, Ruchi Ghanshyam, thanked Blackman for his commitment and support to India on the issue. And in Midday News, we'll take a very short break. We'll be right back with more news.
A historic move. Indian Army on the alert in the state. Army holds first recruitment rally after abrogation of Article 370. Indian Army steps up efforts to rebuild lives devastated by terrorism. From Hill Kaka to Pir Panjal Range, RSTV reports from Ground Zero. Watch our special series, Eradicating Militancy, Ensuring Peace, every Tuesday at 10 p.m.
Welcome back after the break. The annual rate of inflation based on a monthly wholesale price index for August 2019 remained unchanged at 1.08% compared to 4.62% in August 2018. The wholesale inflation is the rate of increase in wholesale prices. Inflation in food articles rose to 7.67% in August from 6.15% in July this year, mainly on account of rise in prices of vegetables and protein-rich items. In the manufacturing products category, which has a weightage of 64.23% on the WPI. Deflation or negative inflation stood at 0.3%. And in fuel and power, wholesale inflation stood at 0.1% last month. On to some other news, President Ram Nath Kovind will hold talks with his Slovenian counterpart in Slovenia capital today. The president will also be present during the delegation-level talks and also the signing of agreements between the two countries. President Kovind will also lay wreath at the War Memorial. During his two-day visit to Slovenia, the president will also take part in the India-Slovenia business event and also grace a reception to be hosted by the Indian community. This is the first ever visit by any Indian president to Slovenia after it gained independence in 1991. The governor of Telangana, Dr. Tamilsai Soundararajan, called on Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu today. Dr. Soundararajan assumed office on 8th of September as the governor of Telangana. The central government is launching a major program to offer 1,000 fellowships to PhD students from ASEAN countries at IITs across India. The program will be launched by External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar and Human Resource Development Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank today. Heads of missions of ASEAN countries, the directors of all 23 IITs, chairman of the UGC and vice chairman of the Niti Aayog will attend the event. The admission portal for this program is being executed by IIT Delhi. Remember, these scholarships were announced by Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the commemorative summit to mark 25 years of India-ASEAN relations last year. The ASEAN, or the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, comprises Indonesia, Singapore, Philippines, Malaysia, Brunei, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar and Vietnam. And the big international focus, US President Donald Trump said on Sunday that the US was prepared to respond to the devastating attacks on 2 oil installations in Saudi Arabia, while Iran rejected the accusations by the US that it was responsible. President Donald Trump said on Twitter that the US is locked and loaded to respond to an attack on Saudi oil infrastructure that Washington has blamed on Iran, as Riyadh raced to restart operations at plants hit by the drone attacks. However, Iran has dismissed the US accusations that it was behind the drone attacks on Saudi oil installations, suggesting that the US was seeking a pretext to retaliate against the Islamic Republic. US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo condemned Iran after Saturday's attacks, which knocked out half of Saudi Arabia's oil production. Remember, the Houthis, a rebel group in Yemen allied with Iran, claimed responsibility for the attacks, saying that it had sent a fleet of drones towards the Aramco facilities in eastern Saudi Arabia. But Mike Pompeo said that there is no evidence that the attacks came from Yemen. 10 drones attacked the world's largest oil processing facility operated by Saudi Aramco early on Saturday. The drone attacks in 2 oil plants triggered a massive blaze that was later brought under control. Meanwhile, in an extraordinary start to the trading, oil prices surged more than 10% today after the attacks on 2 Saudi Arabian oil plants that slashed the output in the world's top producer by half. West Texas Intermediate jumped to 10.68% to $60.71 US, and Brent climbed 11.77% to $67.31 US in early Asia trading, following the blast at the facilities run by state-owned giant Aramco. Now, this is the biggest intraday advance in dollar terms since they were launched in 1988. Energy producer Saudi Aramco lost about 5.7 million barrels per day of output on Saturday after 10 unmanned drones struck the world's biggest crude oil processing facility and also the kingdom's second biggest oil field in Kurais. All right, let's get you some sports news now. In the world of badminton, Saurabh Verma clinched the Vietnam Open Super 100 title, defeating China's Sun Fei Xiang in the men's singles summit clash in the Ho Chi Minh City on Sunday. Second-seeded Saurabh Verma recovered from a mid-game slump to beat Sun 21-12, 17-2, 21-14. The match lasted for an hour and 12 minutes. Now, this victory marks Saurabh Verma's second Super 100 win in the ongoing calendar year. He had won the Hyderabad Open earlier in the month of August. And in more sports news, Pankaj Advani on Sunday clinched a record 22nd world title by winning a fourth straight final in the BSF World Billiards Championships in Myanmar. Pankaj Advani defeated Nath Kovind of Myanmar. The 34-year-old has brought home a world trophy every year ever since returning from a professional stint in the UK in 2014. Now, in the short format of billiards, this is Pankaj Advani's fifth title in the last 6 years. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated Pankaj Advani for winning a fourth straight final at the World Billiards Championship. In a tweet, PM Modi said that the entire nation is proud of Advani's accomplishments. He also offered best wishes for his future endeavours. And that is the wrap on this edition of Midday News. Thanks so much for your time.